Welcome back again, Forging Friends. We are at 4 decks left in this mass mutation box. I think we still have a chance. It's getting lower, but we still have a chance of finding a gigantic creature, or maybe some sins too. I forgot the sins were in this set too, so let's hope we get something out of this one for today. All right, cracking this one open. We've got Shadows, Star Alliance, and Untamed. We have Sir F. Gunsmasher with a starship looking Archon, like a bunch of bubbles around it. Interesting, gray Archon. 3 good houses. Let's see what we got. Dropping down the Archon card, we've got Untamed to start with. We have Umbra Beast, a 3-power creature with Elusive and Skirmish. Good fighter. We've got Stampede, an action card with an Amber Pip. Play if you use 3 or more creatures this turn, steal 2 Amber. I never get to use this card, but if it came in clutch, it'd be really, really good. We got Wild Bounty, enhance 2 Amber Pips. Play the next time you play this card, play a card this turn, resolve each of its bonus icons an additional time. If we have something enhanced a lot, this could be huge. Looking for a lot of enhancements here. Look at that, Niffle Grounds. It's got an extra Amber bonus Pip with 2 Amber on it. And as an action, you can choose a creature. For the remainder of the turn, that creature loses Taunt and Elusive. You don't have to worry about the Taunt and Elusive, guys. Very nice. Mushroom with the View, one of my favorite card names. It's an artifact with an Amber Pip. Omni, any turn, you can heal 1 damage from each friendly creature. It adds up, actually. Keeps creatures around a little longer. Got that Bumblebird, a 1-power alpha creature. Play, put 2+1 power counters on each other friendly untamed creature. Could be huge. Really, really huge. We got Pismar, great creature, 4 power. And while they're more friendly mutant creatures than enemy mutant creatures, your opponent's keys cost +2. We'll have to do a mutant count at the end of the video. There's a Niffle Ape, a 3-power creature. While Niffle Ape is attacking, ignore Taunt and Elusive. Lots of good ways to get rid of that. And this one's got a draw pip. Great. Can draw more cards. Got that Ghost Hawk, a 2-power creature that can be deployed. And play, you may reap with each neighboring creature 1 at a time. Great card. Great with Song of the Wild or in multiples. And we have multiples. We have 2 of them. Excellent. Flumph, a 3-power creature with Skirmish, and Fight, give a beast creature 2+1 power counters. Can really get things pretty nicely big. Got that Damo Beast, a 3-power creature with Skirmish, and when he's destroyed, you steal Amber. Nice card. Going on to Star Alliance, we have the Disruption Field upgrade. Amber, when you play it, your opponent's keys cost +1 Amber for each Disruption counter on Disruption Field. And this creature gains Fight, Reap. Put a Disruption counter on Disruption Field. You know, it starts off pretty small. It doesn't do anything, actually, right off the bat. But whenever you can use it a few times on a big creature, maybe one of these Untamed guys that has a lot of bonus Amber icons, we can get a good use out of this. So, gotta look out for a way to use that. We have LCDR Trigon. LCDR Lieutenant Commander. The Lieutenant Commander Trigon, a 4-power creature with Reap. Discard the top card of your deck. Resolve that card's bonus icons as if you had played it. Very interesting card. I don't know if we'll have enough bonus icons to make use of it, but we'll see. We got Survey, an action card with an Amber Pip, and enhance a draw pip. Play, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Discard 1 of them. Okay, more efficiency. Love to see that. We got that Subject Kirby, a 2-power creature with Play, Fight, Reap. You may play a non-Star Alliance creature this turn. Great to play cards off house. Subdue, an action card with an Amber Pip. Play, deal 1 damage to a creature and stun it. Creature control, love it. Secure Droid, a 4-power creature with Taunt, and it may give a creature Taunt as an upgrade. Fantastic. Scout Pete, a 4-power creature with Play, Fight, Reap. Look at the top card of your deck. You may discard that card. More efficiency. Red Alert, a action card with Play. If there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, deal damage to each enemy creature equal to the difference. This is a huge card. It's like a one-sided board wipe sometimes. Very nice. Hadron Collision, an action card with remove a ward from a creature and deal 3 damage to it, and it can't be prevented by armor. Great against Sanctum, for sure. Explode Rover, a 3-power creature with Skirmish and can give a creature Skirmish by becoming an upgrade. Crewman Yorg, a 3-power creature that enhances a capture pip, and action, if it has no Star Alliance neighbors, it steals an Amber. Access Denied, we have an upgrade with an Amber Pip, and the creature this is attached to cannot reap. Great creature control. Moving on to Shadows, we have the rare artifact Pincerator. Amber, when you play it, and at the end of each turn, deal 1 damage to each flank creature. All right, well, we have to put things... I don't know if we have much with armor. I don't think we have anything with armor, but we want to put things that are okay with destruction on the edges. We have this out. Got Doom Sigil, another rare artifact. Each creature gains poison Each creature gains poison. If there are no creatures in play, destroy Doom Sigil. Oh my gosh, each creature gains poison? I've never seen this card before. That's actually kind of insane. My creatures and my opponent's creatures. So I guess if they have a big board full of, really, really strong creatures and they're relying on their power, I can just plink them away with my 1 power guys. That can be kind of cool. Let's see if we can get a good use out of that. We got Ransack, an action card with play, steal 1 amber, discard the top card of your deck. If that card is a Shadows card, trigger this effect again. Steal a few cards that way. Got Lucky Dice, artifact with 2 amber pip. Omni, destroy Lucky Dice during your opponent's next turn. Friendly creatures cannot be dealt damage. Cool. All right. Protecting creatures. We've got this very interesting, tempting offer. It's got an amber pip and 2 capture pips on it. Play, return an enemy creature to its owner's hand. If you do, your opponent gains 1 amber. Pretty good card. Nexus, a 3-power creature with elusive, and Reap, use an enemy artifact as if it were yours. Mug, action card with an amber pip. Play, move 1 amber from a creature to your pool, deal 2 damage to that creature. Look over there, an action card with play, deal 2 damage to a creature. If it is not destroyed, steal 1 amber. Got Gamgee, a 2-power creature with elusive, and Reap, if your opponent has more amber than you, steal 1 amber. We got Francis the Economist, a 3-power creature with skirmish, and fight, each player gains 1 amber. Got Darkwave, an action card with an amber pip. Play, deal 2 damage to each non-mutant creature. Very specific. And our last card is Bo Nithing, a 2-power creature with play. Steal 1 amber for each forge key your opponent has. Okay, well, this deck has a couple kind of cool things, but not a huge amount. We'll do the counts and see if we have anything interesting. All right, be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and do the counts. Let's see how many creatures we got in this deck. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 creatures. It's kind of a little bit around average, I think, from what we've seen. Not great, not terrible. Let's look at the amount of amber we have on the cards in this deck. Let's see. I'll count Bo Nithing as 1. Because I think, as long as we get a mid to late game, we can pretty much guarantee 1 amber off of that. I don't know if any other creatures offer us amber. Not consistently. Okay. So that's 1 so far. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at least, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 amber on the cards. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I think, did I count that correctly? I think so. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, yeah, 17 amber. Pretty good, actually. A lot of amber, almost 3 keys worth of amber just on the cards. And then we have 18 creatures to reap with and stuff like that. So, we might be susceptible to amber control quite a bit here, but I think we have a lot of amber, which is nice to work with, at least. All right, so now we're looking for artifact control. I think the only artifact control in this deck that I could remember is this Nexus, and that's only artifact control if the artifact destroys itself when it's used. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else that'll control an artifact. No. So that's, as usual, one weakness of this deck. Looking at creature control, I think we can always safely assume the Doom Sigil is considered creature control. Everything gets poison, which is really interesting. So, no creatures will stay out for very long, and it's really just who has the ready creatures left. I wonder, how many Shadows creatures do we have with that? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 Shadows creatures. So even if they have poison, even if these guys have poison, we have to make sure we have some of these out and ready to take care of our opponent's creatures before they do, because otherwise that Doom Sigil, this thing will hurt us more than help us. So it's going to be an interesting thing to play. So let's look at creature control then. All right, things that just directly damage or destroy creatures. Ooh, let's see here. I don't know that we have any creatures that just have damage like that. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah. So 9 total creature controllers. I mean, some of them are pretty big, some of them are nice, so it's not terrible. Let's go back to Amber control. Things that control or increase our opponent's keys, control Amber, or increase keys. So we got Pismire, that's 1. I believe we have 5 out of 18 mutants. So still a little bit lower than we'd like to see, but we could probably get at least 1 or 2 Amber increased to their key cost with this. So that's 1 Amber control so far. 2 steals 1. 3. We'll call it, say, 3.5 since there's a stipulation to that one. 4.5. Since we have so many untamed creatures and we have those 2 ghost hawks, we'll count that as half. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 Amber control, 9 creature control. Pretty good overall. Like to see some of these cards. Let's go to going to efficiency. Things that we can use to draw cards or use cards off house. So we have 1 there. We have 2, 3 here because we can reap with creatures off house, which is great. So 3 so far. 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. 7 efficiency is pretty pretty good actually for this deck that doesn't have logos in it. Very interesting. Okay. Recursion. I don't think we have anything that recurs things from the discard pile in this entire deck. Yeah, I don't think we have anything that'll do that for us, unfortunately. So I will say recursion is 0, and on the same note here, I'll say disruption is also 0 because we have no way of discarding things from our opponent's hand. So unfortunate that we don't have the little bonus of any recursion or disruption. But from what we do have, we have a decent amount of creatures, decent amount of Amber on the cards, and we have some kind of fun toys with this creature control, with the Doom Sigil. I think this is going to be like the crux of the deck. Getting a lot of creatures out, getting this out early, and just staying ahead of our opponent's creatures. You know, whenever their creature comes into play, they're exhausted, and we can just constantly stay ahead of them. I don't think we have anything with armor. We have this guy with Skirmish. So this guy with Skirmish and Poison, that'd be kind of cool. If we could get Doom Sigil out with him, he could just take care of a bunch of stuff constantly. But everything else, this has also got Skirmish, and this has got Skirmish. So we have a fair few Skirmish guys. I think that'll be the main thing. It'll be getting our Skirmish guys out with Doom Sigil, and just kind of controlling our opponent's board is the play here from what I'm seeing right now. And then this healing 1 probably won't matter very much with Poison. Just controlling our opponent's creatures. That's pretty much a straightforward strategy of this deck. It's not particularly great at it. I'm going to kind of say this is in the 60s, you know. It's been a while since I've been a little bit lower on a deck. I'll count this one because I mean it has a fair number of creatures in Amber, which is really nice. And it's got the 2 Ghost Hawks, which is really, really nice. I could probably even just count those each as 2 Amber apiece. So if we added 4 more Amber to our total, we have like, what, 21 Amber, which is really, really good overall. So I'll put it to moderately high 60s. We'll say 67. You know, I'm thinking it's not great, it's not terrible, it's in the 67s. I'd probably try this deck out a couple times to see how it plays. But yeah, go ahead and make your guesses, and we will go to my desktop. All right, welcome back to my desktop. I have copied the link. Kind of a little bit of a lower, less to say about this deck. I mean, it's got this Doom Sigil, which is really interesting. I have not gotten a deck with this card before, so I'm interested in seeing how it's rated. It says here only a 48.3% win rate. It's kind of a double-edged sword. More often than not, you have to be quite ahead on creatures. And our Shadows creatures aren't that plentiful, so that's unfortunate. But you know, it could be good depending on how slow our opponent has to play. So it's interesting, but yeah, I think this deck is pretty standard as far as strategy goes. Controlling the board, reaping to get Amber. It's got a fair amount of Amber on the cards, but you know, nothing huge to write home about. So I'm gonna stick with my 67, lock it in. Go ahead and make your guess, and let's see what we got. 59 even. Yeah, I mean, I probably, you know, I usually rate the decks too high. Yeah, this is probably one of the lowest decks we've seen in a long time, actually. Let's see what we got. So we do have that 21 Amber. I think I got there in my calculation somehow. Nothing taking away Amber. We don't have anything that is chaining us or I mean, stunning a creature, you know, anything that's losing us reaps or Amber like that. Wild Bounty could potentially get us a lot of Amber depending on what we can use with it. Amber Control, we're losing a little bit from Francis because he gives both players an Amber, and Tempting Offer can potentially give us our opponent an Amber for removing a creature of theirs, but that's, you know, that's probably worth it if we're going to play it. Got that Nexus for Artifact Control. We have Subject Kirby, Scout, and Scout Pete, or sorry, Survey and Scout Pete as the efficiency, as we thought. Tempting Offer for Disruption. I might have forgotten to count that for Disruption. Tempting Offer. Yep, because it adds a card back to their hand. It kind of clogs up their hand a bit more. So I can see how that would be considered Disruption. That makes sense. Both Creature Control and Disruption. Interesting. And, you know, it just has such low base arc. Yeah, no, only the Star Alliance is barely above 20 here. Everything else is below 20 individual SAS. So, I mean, that makes sense. So yeah, the Star Alliance is it's solid, but it can't carry this whole deck on its own, unfortunately. Let's see what we have that kind of took away and added to our deck here. We have the Subject Kirby. We have the Ghost Talk with Subject Kirby is a very solid thing. We can play a creature off house on an Untamed turn even, which is really, really cool. We could play, you know, a creature of each type. We could play on an Untamed turn. We could play a Ghost Talk, and then we reap with Subject Kirby, and then we could play a Shadows creature at the same time. Very cool. If only we had a way of playing an artifact off house, we could get that that Doom Sigil out on a non Shadows turn. That'd be very, very nice. But we can't do that, I don't think. We got the Gamgee again with the Ghost Talk is great. We have the Disruption Field and Pismire is great for the Gamgee because that makes them have more Amber, and then that will let us steal some more. So that's some positive synergy we have there. I really want to see negative synergy. Oh, we have positive with the Lieutenant Commander Trigon because we have things that have bonus Amber icons, quite a few, which is good. I think I counted him as efficiency before, but he just doubles our bonus icons. Or he just lets us use bonus icons on a card that's on the top of our deck. He's very specific. I don't know if I like that card in particular. He's a very specific card. Here we go. So Dark Wave, minus 195% efficiency because we have so many non-mutant cards. Yeah, Dark Wave is not a card we play very often, and that's one Amber that we might lose considering we have so many really good creatures that aren't mutants. So, and then we have Doom Sigil, which is good with Skirmish, and we have 5 creatures that have Skirmish total. So we could potentially get that to work, but unfortunately, I think it's 3 of our creatures, 3 of our 5, or actually 4 out of our 5 creatures are non-Shadows creatures. So it's going to be very difficult to get that to work to where we're out ahead on the Doom Sigil, because we'll be kind of playing catch up the whole time, I think. But yeah, overall, kind of a missed opportunity with this deck, I think. You know, if that Doom Sigil had come into Shadows with a few more creatures, it doesn't matter what creatures, just more creatures, I think that would have been better. I think this Untamed, while, you know, great with the double Ghost Hawks and everything like that, kind of doesn't have enough to disrupt our opponent's board. You know, I wish I had a few more Untamed creatures. The Gigantic creature would be great in this deck. That really would have added a lot. But yeah, I don't know. It's lacking something exciting, something really, you know, really big to push this deck forward. I think every deck needs something, you know, that little thing that can make it come out ahead. I'm pretty sure this deck could still win, like an average game. I just don't think that it will go the distance very long, and I especially think, even with all the draw pips and some of the efficiency here, we have 5.3 efficiency. I do still think Chains will really hurt this deck quite a bit, because even with that efficiency, I think it needs this efficiency to function, even a little bit at all. But you know, it's just one of those average decks that you find. So yeah, we have 3 decks left. Let's see if we can find anything better next time. But yeah, thank you all for watching. And you know, if you wanted to leave what you guessed in the comments, I'd appreciate it. And if you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more of this content, please subscribe. You all have a good day. Bye-bye.